Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football, and this is the Matchday 8 team selection, the round of 16 second leg. So a couple of things we need to talk about before going to how my team is looking and what I'm planning to do with it. Obviously, you're allowed three transfers this week and you have to use them. I mean, you don't have to use them. If your team is looking good, you don't have to use them. But if you don't use them, you cannot carry them forward for the next round. So if you don't use all the three transfers, they're basically going to disappear and you're going to get a fresh 5 transfers in the next round. So if you want those people like me who I don't want to waste my transfers at all, you have to use the 3 transfers right now. You're not allowed to carry transfers over to the next match day in the knockout stages. You can do that in the group stages, but not in the knockout stages. Now, there's a couple of situations you might get yourself into. Let's say you had like 2 Liverpool players and you had like 2 Club Brugge players and you had like 1 Frankfurt players. The likelihood is that those 3 teams are probably going to go out because Liverpool is trailing by 3 goals, and Frankfurt is trailing by 2 goals. Club Brugge is trailing by 2 goals, and they're all going away from home to Real Madrid, to Napoli, and to Benfica. So the likelihood is that they're going to go out. You don't want to get yourself into a situation where in the next round you're allowed 5 transfers, yes, but you only have like 7 players remaining, and you had all those players from all those teams that have been eliminated. You don't want to get yourself into that situation. So if right now you feel like there's some players you don't really need to take out and your team is looking good and you still have transfers to go, I would take a gamble. I would probably take out at least a couple of those players who have already been eliminated. I know they might still win the second leg, but let's be honest. Like Club Brugge going to Benfica, I don't really expect Club Brugge to turn it around. Same with Frankfurt. Same with Liverpool. They might get a couple of goals, but I can't see them scoring all that. I mean, you can obviously keep a player like Salah, but let's say you had like an Alexander-Arnold or Van Dijk. I'll probably take those players out and bring in a player from a team who's probably going to be in the next round. So those are Napoli, Real Madrid, Benfica have already won their first leg games by more than 2 goals. And then there's a couple of other teams that you have to take gamble with, like AC Milan against Tottenham. It's very hard to know which teams are going through there. So it's literally up to you. Whatever your prediction is in your mind, in your heart, the best option is probably to take a player who's not going to be there in the next round. But if you already have like 10, 11 players, you had like 4 Napoli players and 4 Benfica players, and you already have like 2, 3 Madrid players, and the only players you have that might go out in this round are like 3, 4 players. That's not the end of the world. If you take out one of them or something, you still have 5 transfers to go in the next round. So be careful with that. Make sure not to take out the players who are going to be there in the next round, like taking out Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia right now and bringing in Salah and Jota. That wouldn't really make sense because you expect Liverpool to go out and you expect Napoli to be in the next round. So with that said, how is my team looking and what am I planning to do? Let's take a look at it. So this is how my team is looking at the moment. I've made 1 transfer. I'll tell you which, and I'll tell you which other transfers I'm looking to make. So in terms of the Napoli players, I have 3 Napoli players. I had 3 Napoli players in the last round. I've made 1 sub to bring in 1 of them. Now, let's go through how my team's looking though. Diogo Costa and Kepa are my goalkeepers at the moment. I'm happy to keep Diogo Costa up against Inter Milan. He will be having a home game with FC Porto against Inter Milan. And I also have Kepa who has a home game. Now, I'm really thinking of taking out Kepa, but I have to really figure out how the rest of my team is looking before I'm taking out Kepa. Personally, I think Chelsea could turn it around. I can see them like winning that game 2-1 and going to extra time. But also Dortmund have been really good this year. I think since the World Cup, they've basically won like every single game. So the stats are pointing to a Dortmund win. So I don't really want to have too many Chelsea players or too many Dortmund players from that game because it's still very, very tight. But at the moment, I have Kepa. At the back, I have Theo Hernandez, Grimaldo, Cancelo, Di Lorenzo, and Rachmani. So Theo Hernandez has been in my team since the last round, same with Grimaldo and Cancelo and Di Lorenzo, but Rachmani has just come into my team. So I've taken out Perisic for Rachmani. So I don't really trust Tottenham. They're not looking good at all. The fans are talking about Conte not understanding the game and tactics. Their coach himself has been sick. He's not even been attending the games recently. And AC Milan, yes, AC Milan lose games. They've lost games this year, but I still fancy them to at least get a draw in that one and probably progressing from that matchup. So I have taken out Perisic because you don't even know if he's going to start, when he's going to be subbed off. I prefer Theo Hernandez and Grimaldo as well against Bruges. Perfect player to have. He might get subbed off in like in the 60th minute. That would be perfect if they're already leading by 3-4 goals on aggregate. Cancelo, I am not sure about. Tough fixture, expect PSG to score. The other time, I think Mbappe scored 2 times or 3 times in that game, but they were all disallowed. I think twice they were all disallowed, and they actually did that within 10 minutes. Cancelo got subbed off at halftime. I don't want players like that in my team. Yes, Pavard is suspended, so Cancelo could play. I think they've been turning to a back five recently as well. Cancelo could play. Yes, he could play, but I don't want a player who can be subbed off. So that is a potential, another potential who could end up leaving my team. In terms of Rachmani and Di Lorenzo, Rachmani, as I said, he came in for Perisic. I wanted 2 defenders from Napoli because they're looking really good. I know they lost to Lazio, but even that was 1 goal. And I think before that, they had like 4 clean sheets from 5 games. They kept clean sheets against the likes of Spezia, and 4 clean sheets in 5 games. So especially like 4 of them were away from home against Frankfurt as well in the first leg. So I was happy to have 2 defenders from there, Di Lorenzo and Rachmani, because a lot of people have Di Lorenzo anyway. So I felt like if you add another one, that would be great. There's always the other players you can get in, Kim, and you can also get their left back. I think it's Oliveira. You can get any of them as well. You can also get their goalkeeper. So that's how my defense is looking. 1 transfer made. I'm still possibly going to take out Cancelo. That is an option to take out. Midfield-wise, Vinicius against Liverpool. That game is probably done, but you can expect Liverpool to get 2 and Madrid to get another like 2 or 3. I can see them getting to 7 or 8 on aggregate. And Vinicius, if they get 2, like if he doesn't score, he could easily be subbed off. But I'm still gambling on that. I expect that to be another high-scoring game. I can see like a 3-2 to Real Madrid or something. Joao Mario is in my team. He's definitely going to stick in my team. He never misses the penalties. He's looking really good. Again, he's on form. Club Brugge at home. Yes. Please, he's definitely going to be in my team. Bellingham and Musiala, I'm still thinking of it. Now, another fixture that we don't know what is going to happen is Bayern and PSG. I think it's very hard to predict, so I wouldn't really pile up on that fixture. At the moment, I have 2 players from Bayern Munich and 1 player from PSG. I don't have Mbappe because he was injured before the first leg and he didn't even start that game. I can take out Messi and bring in Mbappe, but I don't want to make direct subs like that. I don't want to do that. Musiala, I am not sure about. Yes, he does start, he does score, but it's a tough fixture as well. And as I said, one of them could be eliminated. So if I was going to change the midfielders, it could be Musiala, because I can't really take out Mari, I can't really take out Vinicius, I can't really take out Kvaratskhelia on the bench. He has a home game against Frankfurt. You'd probably expect him to score, even assist in that game. So the only options I have to remove in midfield are Bellingham and Musiala. So that is a very, very tough one. There's a couple of differentials I'm thinking about and a couple of players I'm thinking about bringing in. I'll talk about them at the end. And then up front, I have Haaland, Osimhen, and Messi. Haaland definitely going to be in my team. Home game against Leipzig, they have to win it. They drew in the first leg. Osimhen as well. He could have had 2 or 3 goals against Frankfurt. He's always on fire. I think he hit the post against Lazio when they played them this weekend. And Messi as well. He scored again, as he always does. Obviously, you can have Mbappe. You can even have both of them if you prefer, but I wouldn't go that direction in case they get eliminated. You don't want to have too many Liverpool and PSG players in your team. So that is how my team is looking. 3 transfers. I've made 1. I've brought in Rachmani for Perisic. So I have 2 transfers to go. Which players am I thinking of taking out? It could be it's 2 from these 4 players. So Kepa is an option to take out. Cancelo is an option to take out as well. Musiala is an option to take out too. And also Bellingham is an option to take out. So those 4 players are options to take out. Bellingham, I'm kind of leading to the side of don't take him out. He's playing against Chelsea, who've not been really good. And Dortmund can end up winning that game. And he's been probably one of the best Champions League players this season. I'm leaning towards keeping him. So I'm left with taking out one of the Bayern Munich players, Musiala, Cancelo, and Kepa. So I might change my goalkeeper and Musiala could come out. But which players am I thinking of bringing in? So my first option was bringing in a defender from Napoli or a midfielder from Napoli. I have done that. So I now have 4 players from that team. There's always another option. If I'm taking out Cancelo, I don't really want to go to that fixture. I'm thinking of Reece James from Chelsea if he's fit. I'm thinking about Guerrero from Dortmund if he's going to start, because he didn't start the last league game. I'm not sure if that is because he's been dropped or rested for this Champions League game. And I'm also thinking about probably bringing in another Benfica defender. Speaking of Benfica defenders, if I take out Kepa, it's going to be Vlachodimos from Benfica who comes into my team. And then in terms of midfielders, Musiala, Bellingham, if one of them goes out, it's probably going to be a Man City player coming in, most probably either Grealish or Mahrez. So that is what I'm thinking to do with this team. But I made the one transfer, and the other two transfers I'm going to wait until very, very late. I'm going to wait to see the team news. Now, obviously, these games are scattered between 2 weeks, so a lot can happen. Like Man City don't play this week, like Mahrez could start next weekend and then doesn't start that game against Leipzig, so that is always a problem as well. So potentially what I'm going to do is just to take out maybe Cancelo, Musiala, and bring in a player who's going to play on that Tuesday. So either play from Benfica or Dortmund or Chelsea. So either Reece James or Vlachodimos could end up coming into my team after I see the team news on that Tuesday. And then I will see who I'm going to take out for either Man City player. Should I bring in a defender from there? That is what I'm thinking. So let me know what your team is looking like. In terms of captaincy, it's going to be Joao Mario on the first day, definitely. On the Napoli day, it's going to be Kvaratskhelia or Osimhen. On the Haaland day, it's going to be Haaland. I'm not going to go too differential. Although if Mario doesn't score on the second day, if I have any differentials, I'm probably going to go for them. But in the second week, it's going to be the likes of Haaland and the likes of Kvaratskhelia. So that is what I'm planning for this week. Let me know, are there any other transfers I'm missing? Any other players you would be thinking about bringing in? Any other differentials that you brought in this week? That is how my matchday team, matchday 8 team is looking. I'll have more videos before the deadline. I'll also have the deadline stream, also the tip show on Monday. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.